Do you want to learn how to negotiate your salary like a pro? Well, you've come to the right place. I have 12 years corporate experience and my success relies on negotiating my salary effectively. So today in this video, I am going to show you 7 hacks on how to negotiate effectively, and I'm also going to tell you why it's important to do so. Stay tuned. And this is Unlocked. I am Nickita and this is my channel. Unlocked amplifies your overall growth in business, lifestyle, or other areas. I'm going to be sharing with you tips and hacks to break through. Why is it important to negotiate your salary, right? The first one is it allows you to be competitive and incentivized, and that allows you to bring your best self to work. Don't get paid well, why would you be working effectively? The second reason is it takes money off your mind. That is so important, isn't it? We've got 1,000 priorities to deal with. Well, it can be 1,000, but the point is when you've got so many priorities to deal with, why think about money or have it as another additional item on your mind? So let's take money off your mind by negotiating for that salary. Last but not least, money is a means to your desired lifestyle. You've got things that you probably want to do. Maybe you want to take that extra yoga class. Maybe you want to go join the gym. Maybe you want to take up a new hobby and you need some extra cash. Well, being paid well or being paid sufficiently will enable that extra hobby and that lifestyle where happiness becomes a byproduct. So negotiate that salary, guys. That's important. Negotiating a paycheck has never been easy for anyone. It's almost awkward and embarrassing to ask for that pay rise, isn't it? Well, let's jump right into things that you can do and prepare yourself to overcome these challenges. My first tip is tip number 1. Tip number 1 talks about assessing your performance and likability. What does that mean? Well, here we go. You have to have delivered against the business needs and against what your manager has set out for you in terms of expectations. So if you've not delivered seamlessly, if you've not brought newness to the table, if you've not overcome the challenges, then how is someone expected to give you a pay rise? So why is likability even a factor? Well, the hard truth is, if a manager likes you, it's more likely that the manager is urged to do more for you. So my advice to you is don't burn bridges, but instead maintain good relationships with your manager so that your likability increases or is kept constant as needed. Tip number 2, prepare a brag sheet or a summary. You heard me, guys. Prepare a brag sheet or a summary. Why? Why do you need a brag sheet? Well, you need to tell your manager how awesome you've been in the last year. So talk about your accomplishments, talk about your awards, talk about the feedback or the testimonials you've gotten. You just need to upsell or market how good you've been. And the truth is, you do need to do that. You'd also want to think about what newness or what future contributions you can bring to the table. And that would be great for your manager to also look at the situation. So, yes, prepare that brag sheet. Tip number 3, find out what you're worth. The best way of finding out what your worth is to talk to an internal manager or a mentor. These people are probably going to be familiar with the pay grade system. They would know your work. They would be better connected to your work as such. And so they would probably be able to guide you on what would be the right increases or the range that you're looking at. I would not recommend to check with peers because that can result in unnecessary frustration or discomfort. Besides, everyone's pay scale, everyone's performance, everyone's likability and assessment can differ. So I suggest not to check in with a peer, but instead check in with a mentor or another manager who can guide you in the company or the startup that you're working for. Tip number 4, be positive, not pushy, be collaborative. So don't bring in your negative thoughts into the conversation. Always focus on the positive things that are happening. Thank your manager for his or her support. Also think about what are the fantastic things you can achieve in the next year. So again, it's very positive, right, in terms of what you're bringing as a story to the manager. Make sure you don't get too pushy with that manager, because that can act in the reverse of what you want. So sense and know how far to go and how much to take a step back on in terms of negotiation. Tip number 5, don't provide a $ number. Ching, ching, ching. No. What you don't want to do is go into a negotiation and say, I want $20,000 more or $30,000 more or X amount. That's just not going to work. A, you're doing the manager's job, and B, you're not giving them the benefit of the doubt to conduct the assessment on your performance and every other factor. So make sure your manager has the privilege of deciding the number. It's always going to be in your favor to do that. Don't provide a number, let the manager do that. Tip number 6, timing. Timing is everything. If your company is not doing so well, it is probably worth reconsidering the ask. If you're in COVID, your business has not been able to make profits, this may not be the right time to ask for a raise. But on the opposite end, if your company has been doing extremely well, then you can think about asking for that raise. So timing is everything. Ensure you've timed this perfectly. Tip number 7, set up your negotiation meeting on a Friday or when it's not busy. I don't recommend setting it up on a Monday or Tuesday or when things are really busy. So you want to catch them in a good setting, in a good mood, and probably in the right timing. Now that I've given you 7 hacks, guys, feel free to drop your comments or questions down below and hit that subscribe button. I did not forget about that bonus, and here is the bonus. The bonus is my script. So this is a script that I use when I get into a salary negotiation with my managers, and it's turned out quite helpful for me. Now you can use that script and modify it to what you need. Here it goes. Here's what the script sounds like. Watch this. The script goes like this. I have had an incredible run with significant positive impact on the business, and here are some of the projects that have enabled this. My contributions were this specifically. In the last year, I have been feeling that the scope of my work has expanded quite a bit. I feel my roles and responsibilities as well as my contributions have increased, and therefore I would like to discuss with you the possibility of reviewing my compensation. Do you have any perspectives to share, or what do you think? So here's how I would do it if I didn't have a script and if I had to do something impromptu with my manager. Dear so-and-so, we've had a fantastic year delivering projects together. Our specific challenges were X, Y, and Z, and we were able to overcome that doing A, B, C. Overall, what a fantastic year. In view of that, I would love for you to review the current compensation program that I have today. What do you think of that? And so that's how I would do it impromptu, but you see, it's pretty much the same thing in terms of what you would say. You would look at your past accomplishments, you would talk about how you overcame some challenges, you would talk about anything new you brought to the table or innovative, then you would politely ask if we could review the compensation, right? Pretty easy script. Of course, you need to try and practice this a few times in front of the mirror with someone else, and once you do that, I'm going to guarantee that you will become a lot more successful in going through this negotiation discussions pretty smoothly. So with that, I wish you luck in all your negotiations related to salary. I hope everything gets better for you in that segment, and I'll see you in the next video. Hit that subscribe button. This is Unlocked.